Hero 8 Black and Max come together in an exciting new way, delivering more performance, more versatility, and more value in single GoPro before. And you're going to see how we maximize value for our customers, because we honor wowing them with value just as we do with performance. I hope you're going to see that our new product is much more than just the sum of its parts. It's the sum of all of our customers' desires, plus 18 years of product and engineering experience thrown in. So here we go. It's a great honor to introduce to you Hero 9 Black.
Like to walk around their apartments naked. So.
Hi, thank you, Nick. Those videos always give me the chills. I love to see how both our users capture footage with our cameras, and then when we showcase what our cameras can do through our videos, the way that GoPro does, it's just absolutely incredible. Hi everyone, I'm Pablo Lema. I'm the Vice President of Product at GoPro. I'm really excited to be here today to talk to you about Hero 9 Black. Now, we typically do these things in person in really cool events around the world, where we get to get hands-on and really talk to each other and get to experience the new devices that we're releasing. This year, as we all know, it's a little bit different, but I hope you're all safe and healthy, and hopefully this presentation will help you get a really good understanding of Hero 9 Black, and then we will be happy to answer any questions you have at the end of the presentation. So I'm excited to talk to you about Hero 9 Black. Let's get into it. Our theme this year is more of everything. We've really spent the last 18 months listening to our customers, researching what they're using our cameras for, how they're using the features in Hero 8 Black, and also how they're using Max, one of our other cameras. And we incorporated a lot of that feedback into Hero 9 Black, and I think you'll see it in the following slides of the conversation. Today, we're introducing Hero 9 Black with a 23.6 megapixel sensor. What this means to users is we can deliver now incredible 5K video and 20 megapixel photos. And almost as importantly, 14.7 megapixel video stills. We're also introducing a front display together with a much larger rear display to allow for great framing and great usage of the camera. Battery life is something that our customers have consistently asked us for more of. And with Hero 9 Black, we're proud to introduce 30% more battery life than Hero 8 Black. And what bigger battery does for us, it also allows us to create much better cold weather performance. Those are the headline internals of the Hero 9 Black. The Hero 9 Black continues to be the same flash device that carries the GoPro DNA. It's rugged and waterproof. It's got pin mounting that we introduced in Hero 8 Black. It's got water draining performance microphones, high wind audio performance. And this year, we're increasing the size of the buttons to give you a better tactile feel when using the camera in glove use cases and other environments in which it's harder to find the buttons. And we're also reintroducing removable lens cover glasses. We've heard our customers, we wanted that to be in the camera. We brought it back, and we're increasing the usability of that feature by introducing some cool accessories and simple things you can do with the removable cover glass. We'll talk a bit more about that later. What is in the sensor? The 23.6 megapixel sensor is going to deliver the legendary GoPro image quality that we've had, but with more quality and more resolution for the users. It's going to deliver stunning 5K video that gives you 77% more pixels than 4K. What that does is it enables users flexibility in zooming in on their images if they want to find a perfect shot that was captured in a larger resolution, or they can capture the whole scene and witness it in the highest resolution you've ever given in a GoPro camera. We also get 20, as I said before, with Super Photo. GoPros take a lot of photos with their cameras. It's one of the best devices to capture really cool shots of simple use cases that we all live. Jumping, click, riding your kid's first bike ride. That GoPro photo sometimes gives you that really immersive look that people treasure and creates a really unique memory. And 20 megapixels is a dramatic increase in image quality and resolution for our users. And finally, the new sensor gives you much more improved image stabilization. So we're continuing our story of HyperSmooth that we started back in Hero 7 Black. And this year, we get something called in-camera horizon leveling. So last year, we introduced this in the GoPro app. Now it's inside the camera, and it delivers fantastic horizon leveling when using the camera in handheld scenarios or mounted scenarios. Truly a gimbal-like experience. And that feature works all the way up to 5K. And the sensor gives us what we call Max HyperSmooth and Max Super View up to 2.7K, which is some of our favorite features from Max. And we do that by using it with what we call the Max Lens mod, which we will get into in a little later. I love sensors, I love pixels. That's an incredible new improvement that we're delivering to our customers this year through the new sensor. Let's talk about something that the increased image quality and resolution in the camera gives to end users. And we call this more skills. So with the new sensor in the camera delivering 5K video, a screen grab from that video results in an image that is 14.7 megapixels. That is a better photo than many cell phones deliver to this day. So you are essentially taking high frame rate photos every time you're recording video with Hero 9 Black. It's an incredible capability that you don't miss about it. It creates a really, really cool way to capture jumps, to capture ski moves, and freeze the frame and grab a really cool picture and still be really high image quality. Check this out. I'm excited to see how customers are going to use screen grabs to really create freeze frame pauses and moments that they care about the most. It's really, really powerful feature that I use a lot. And I'll talk a little bit more about some additional physical thing on the camera. We call it the more screens. So we've obviously introduced in the camera a new front-facing screen and also a much larger rear screen. So this is great for framing your shots Also really good for things like vlogging and group shots where you have to be able to frame who's in the scene. You can change the mode in the front screen to be the full representation of what you're seeing, fill up the front screen, or you can actually reduce it down just to status only if you really just want to do the best information. Kind of acts like our old multi-screen that we had on the camera in previous years. The camera in the back is 16% larger than in previous generations, which creates a much easier to use interaction in the back of the screen. And importantly, the two screens are on at the same time. This is something that's really valuable and really powerful, where we find that users don't want to be switching between which screen they want to use. They want to be able to quickly see from front to back. Check this out. Let's talk about more battery life. So year after year, our customers have asked us for more battery life possible out of our GoPro. It's one of the most important features that we care about a lot, because we want to make sure that you can capture the moment when you need to capture it and make sure the battery is sufficient for the rest of your activity. So what we did is we went back to the drawing board on our batteries and increased its capacity significantly from previous generations. So now we can deliver 30% more battery life than in previous cameras, and importantly, much better performance in cold weather, up to 45 to 60% higher run times in cold weather. All this is done through a much larger 1720 milliamp hour battery. So here's a little example of what that means in a real-time use. Now let's talk about HyperSmooth. And I remember the day we introduced HyperSmooth in Hero 7 Black and how magical that performance was. And I always thought to myself, how is it that we can keep improving them year after year? Well, we've done it yet again in HyperSmooth 3.0. And in this next generation of HyperSmooth, we're introducing in-camera horizon leveling up to 5K. And what this will do is if you're walking with the camera and it is slightly off center, the camera will automatically correct the horizon and deliver you consistent, stabilized footage up to 5K. It's a really, really powerful feature for when you're hand-holding the camera, or, as many people sometimes discover, when it's mounted on something and it's just a little bit off, you can correct it and have the horizon be perfectly level through your activity. We're also introducing HyperSmooth Boost in all frame rates and resolutions as combinations. This is a really powerful feature. The ultimate stabilization in a GoPro is when we deliver boost. And in the past, we haven't been able to give it in every single mode of the camera, and now we can in Hero 9 Black. And HyperSmooth 3.0 works across the board up until 5K, delivering the best stabilization yet in a camera from us. And I think you'll enjoy this video showcasing how that works. I'm amazed at how we can actually create a gimbal inside of our camera through HyperSmooth 3.0. And now let's talk about the other feature that was introduced at the time of Hero 7 Black. And this year we're introducing TimeWarp 3.0, which is one of the coolest ways to create short, fun clips out of longer moments, such as a hike or a marathon or other things that are a little longer in duration. You want to shorten them up. So today we're introducing TimeWarp 3.0 with a little bit more features, more control, just make it a little bit more awesome to get that creative juice going. And we're doing it by improving what we had before called speed ramp. And so now you can slow that down all the way to real speed, and we will capture the audio during the real speed moment, which makes it really cool. So you can be running up into a point on your hike, you stop, and everyone talks about it and how cool it is, that's all captured, and then you restart the time warp and it keeps on going. And then, if you really want to make it cool, you reduce that real speed down to half speed. So now you're getting really fast speed of a time warp down to an ultra slow motion. And all of that is stabilized with HyperSmooth 3.0 during the real levels. It's a really cool, our users love this feature. It's really creative piece of content that can come out of this capability of the camera. And I'm excited to see how people use real speed and real speed and half speed audio in TimeWarp 3.0. Here's an example of how that looks like.
Not a bad day.
All right, that's all, folks.
One of my favorite ways to use TimeWarp is to actually put it on the chest beat on a kid. It creates some of the funniest high-speed shots you can ever get of a child. So just a little aside, you guys should check that out. Now let's talk about Webcam. Webcam mode is a feature that we introduced recently in Hero 8 Black over the summer, and it's going to be in Hero 9 Black. And what this does is it takes the GoPro from being purely a recording device to also now being a really good real-time communication device by integrating itself into many other video conferencing platforms that we use today for work, for fun, for catching up with friends, or really a lot of times for instruction. So with Hero Black, you'll be able to broadcast the webcam platforms up to 1080p. You'll be able to use the front LCD to frame yourself, which is really compelling because the screen is really close to the lens. And we found the feature is really powerful for use cases such as fitness instructions, schools, teachers, cooks. So I usually think of the example of a cook that does a Zoom class. We'll put a GoPro on top of the stove and you can see the cooking experience, which is really hard to do, as you can imagine, using a phone or a laptop. But with a GoPro, you can create that really cool immersion and still be participating in a video conference, which is really powerful. As a matter of fact, I'm using this feature right now for this presentation. So my recording is going through a Hero 9 Black into a video conferencing platform that we're using to make this presentation. So it's really, really cool. I'm excited for how users are going to keep using webcam and integrate GoPros into real-time communication. Speaking of real-time communication, let's talk about live streaming. It's something we've introduced a few years ago in our cameras, and this year we have something pretty cool coming in Hero 9 Black. So, as continues to be the case, when you live stream through a GoPro, you're going to get 1080p video with HyperSmooth applied to it in this year's HyperSmooth 3.0. What that means is you get the most stabilized live stream capabilities of any camera out there. And so when you mount the GoPro to a race car and it is transmitting that footage directly to an audience, the best footage it can be because it's incredibly stable and has that GoPro image quality. So that's really, really cool and creates interesting live views of events that can capture when a GoPro is in that case. This where we've introduced a now you actually transmit directly from the camera through GoPro to the audience you want to share with. And what that means is the higher quality of the, and it's the easiest to set up because we control the entire experience. So it's essentially a one-touch experience in the app, and you're transmitting via GoPro to those people that you keep up. Now let's talk about power tools. And power tools are, as the name implies, deep capabilities in the cameras that enable the ultimate control of how you're going to use the device to capture a moment. Many of our customers want as much control as we will give them in our devices to make it anywhere from manual capture all the way to ISO controls. We've done that through ProTune, and now we've extended the ability with what we call power tools. And we have 3 new ones this year joining one that we've had in cameras before, which was Live Burst. And we'll get hindsight, favorite feature in the camera, my favorite feature in Hero 9 Black, scheduled capture and duration capture. All right, let's talk about hindsight, which is one of my favorite features in Hero 9 Black, if not my favorite feature, together with Max Hotspot. What hindsight does is what the name implies. You're looking into the past of what just happened. And the way it works is, for the last up to 30 seconds, what happened when you press the cover button in hindsight mode. what this means for you is all those moments that you've been trying to capture that perfect shot, whether it's a jump in the pool from a kid, that wave that you're trying to capture, by using hindsight, you make sure that you just have to record the one that was good and never have to record several versions on the same event. So it's a really powerful feature that once you use it, you realize, man, it's like I'm DVRing my life. I can remember what I saw without having to constantly be recording it. And it's a really powerful feature that I think users are going to get really creative of, and including one of our own employees. He got really creative at home, this is well at home, and tried to do something pretty hard. And I'll just let you see it in the video because it's actually pretty cool. Check it out. Speaking of capturing the perfect moment, hindsight is meant to capture really cool videos and that perfect shot that you never miss again. And live burst, which is one of the features we introduced in our cameras recently, is also meant to capture that perfect shot, but with photos. And what live burst does, it makes sure that it captures the exact moment in a cliff jump, for example. And what it does is instead of you having to make sure that you press the button at the right time, you just press it when you think it's supposed to be the right moment, and we will capture 1.5 seconds before and 1.5 seconds after, and even create a small little video that you can use to create some cool animations from that moment. It's a really powerful way of capturing and not missing a moment in photos. And it does this and creates a 4K 3-second clip at the end of it as well. Another power tool that I'm really excited about, scheduled capture. So it's a blessing for all those of us who like to capture sunrises or sunsets, but don't want to be around the camera. We're introducing scheduled capture. What this means is what the name implies. You can, up to 24 hours in advance, set a time in which the camera will be, even if it's powered off, it will wake up and perform whatever setting you set up the scheduled capture in, and it'll start to record it. So this is obviously great for early sunrises, where you don't have to wake up. You get out of bed and realize that the camera actually captured the perfect sunrise at that beach where you're spending time. It's really, really cool. Once you use it, you realize that this is how all cameras should be able to set a time when they start recording. Here's a little example of how that works.